Check. Check, testing, check. Looks good. Check, testing, check. Looks good. Check, testing, check. Looks good. Check, testing, check. It's good.
Clap your hands. You can start that high.
No, but the whole stand right here and tell everybody. Oh, okay. Check, testing, check. It's good.
Clap your hands.
Yeah,
You can start that high.
no, but the whole stand right here and tell everybody. Oh, okay. Check, testing, check. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn that off so we got full screen. So here we go. Alright, and people are already freaking.
So you're actually seeing it in YouTube? Now, I need to get on my phone and share it, right?
Yeah. It's in full. So share, go to Ghost Hunt Weekends, and there's a thing that says live now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's a really cool image I made up.
On YouTube?
No, go to my Facebook page.
Actually, I
Can
can
I
share it.
Can I share it on Twitter and Instagram?
Yeah, you should. Can't you just share it?
Well, I
You
got
can
that. All I got's the secret one.
Oh. Yeah, I'm sure you can. Maybe just hold down and copy it and then paste it or something. Why does that look like it's out of focus? But I don't think it is.
It's not, I think it's the lights.
Gina says nothing. Well, hang on.
It's not showing you.
Yeah, because it's not new. It's not 1 o'clock. It starts at 1.
Oh, okay. Radio check. Radio chicken.
Historical.
Share
We gotta have
on
there.
YouTube or Facebook?
Go to Facebook and then go to Ghost Hunt Weekends. And then, no, not Crew, Ghost Hunt Weekends, our Ghost Hunt Weekends page. And then there's a whole big thing that says, what is that?
That's the moment. These are those old papers.
Oh, yeah. How cool. A cleanse woman.
She's one of our. She's clean. Didn't know.
15 years
See,
since.
we got to looking her up. All her brothers.
No, not that one. Ghost Hunt Weekends. And then go down. You just click the wrong one. And then here it is, right here. See, press live now. So just share it.
All her brothers went to
And you
prison.
can even share. Like you can do this. You can share. You can go share as a message to other people, or send it to pages of groups or friends. So like if you're like,
Well, that's my.
yeah, well, you don't have any then that you're
Right.
in groups with, but you can. That's like, you know.
Really? Why you gotta be looking all serious?
It looks good.
I like it, you know?
Let's do the last check because we got about 15 minutes.
Okay,
before we let
we'll do another one.
Actually, we got a lot of people. Is there anybody else?
There's a guy doing some kind of electrical work.
You know what I'm saying?
scared everybody away.
Looks creepy.
That's a horror movie effect right there.
Testing. What?
No.
Two. Three.
Chickens and they're going with apple. Or gravy.
What's up, Cindy?
Baked beans, salad, mashed
I
potatoes.
got one of those West Hot weekend film cans. Put it on my trailer.
That's why I'm like hiding because I don't need Mike sneaking up on me.
Happy birthday. Can I spank you? No, one can.
Oh yeah, I bet. I know, it was like, where's the camera?
Right there.
No witnesses.
We're live, actually.
Oh, that's great. It's called a love tap. I have taught these boys how to do this and they still don't do it.
Sweating, sticky, sorry.
Oh, cool.
and then you get pictures with the boys, autograph.
We've got, chicken here, I'm not putting out, it's gonna Oh, the chutney. That chutney is awesome.
Yeah, the only reason I'm saying that is because we knew you might be cooking. Down there, you might be cooking.
Nothing like David's cooking.
I know.
I was coming back there to see what you guys. Seriously, you can go to the back of my car.
I got your message. It's like, I can't leave the store out, and I was like, what time are you getting here for lunch? I'm like, I don't need anything, baby. I just need you to be there.
Actually, it was a liquor store. It was like up the street.
Oh, yeah, so you stayed in Monty?
Yeah, right there
What is this, man? Looks like a UFC fight's about to happen or something.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta go on here.
Oh, stream hell.
Too many people are online here. What are people writing?
I saw that stream.
Here, here.
Look how clear it is. Like, well, I mean, it's small, but
Definition on the plants and stuff.
like good.
Mike's head, or Chris's head walking by.
It's a little slow here, but I don't know why. See, but sure.
Look, 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 look. There's our set.
See, like,
It's been online for
go to ghosthuntweekends.com. I mean, go to our Ghost Hunt Weekends Facebook page, and then there's a thing that says it with, and then just share that exact page. Stream it on. Shit on the stream.
Yeah, but like I said, don't let it go too far. I used to be, like I said, there's Chad Morin, and he gets like I can't get a hold of him. When I need to get a hold of him for the national, I call him.
Supposed to be on there right now.
Seriously, I mean,
Yeah, so here's this live now. So share it on your page. That's what I want to watch. I heard it.
I'm trying. That's what I want.
Get a seat, honey. Right here. In your seat. Just don't sit here. Yeah, right here is best. I won't plug the camera. Just come in. Maybe I'll be next to them. The first one. Yes, just sit by real quick. Yeah, people are watching.
have brought our little
Should have probably made with the extreme graphics to find anywhere. Let's get up there.
That's fine with me.
You're here all night. Are you? Something on the phone. Well, sometimes it just this part. So, but that's fine. They can't get here, so what they do is they record. So we this person in Japan. So go to someone's Facebook page, and it says it.
Try to take pictures of whatever it was that materialized.
You hold it down and then I'll
Cool, I'm on.
Hey, come here, 6A.
What's up?
Go to Facebook. This time we
It's
get
a real deal, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. Anybody, I fight over that because I was there.
Just really. Yeah, barely.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, like that, barely. Oh yeah, we cleaned up this house. And it was like 0 reception.
Remember Lint Ball?
Yeah,
Or something. But there's a lot of that shows up what we're doing.
You're like, man, I've seen these on
You see that picture he has, Hughes? The church?
Picture of the scratches?
Oh, I mean, the video.
It is just like this.
Yeah, I can't, yeah, sure, you do not.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And there's nothing in the way.
To be blurry when it's streamed. But we're gonna keep.
Yeah, I know.
Here's a way to send that.
Maybe you could send it to him as I don't know.
I mean, you gotta Google it. There's a way to send it to me. I know somebody sent me a video of my iPhone like that. And somehow I got to play.
Press it.
But right now, what she said,
She's on the way.
Lori, when she gets here, she'll probably find out.
How to send
right now, he sent me that, it's just.
I was just looking at how to send a live
So
message.
it'll go.
Hey, it's all live, so I don't even care.
It goes
So.
real good.
We're live. Hey, welcome everybody to the Thomas House. Welcome to Ghost Hunt Weekends, and welcome to our press conference. Yeah! That's loud, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Let me change this here real quick. Hold on. Thanks for coming out, guys. Hey, I'm Chad Morin. I'm the president and host of Ghost Hunt Weekends. And this is going to be exciting. This is our first press conference that we've had that's actually live. So I'm very excited about this. We're kicking off our summer tour. So this is what this is all about. Thanks everybody for coming out. I know you guys, we got Atlanta in the house. We got, where are you from?
Ohio.
Ohio. We got Gallatin, Tennessee. Where are you guys from?
Blue Ridge.
Blue Ridge. Where the hell's that? Georgia? Yeah. So, you like that? And we got some more people coming in. We got 6 all the way from Atlanta. Where are you guys from? Where?
Hey, Chad,
Yes, sir.
is there a delay on this?
Yeah, it's a little bit of pause here.
Okay.
We're going to be live on the chat. We're streaming live right now. We saw a bunch of people. Japan. We saw Brazil. We saw Germany. So everybody's online. Probably every country on the planet is watching right now, so this is very exciting. So we're going to be taking live questions tonight, or today, I'm sorry. So send your questions in. Felix is going to be screening them, and then we're going to ask the questions to the guys this evening. So what we're doing is we're kicking off our summer tour. The whole reason of this press conference is to let people know what Ghost Hunt Weekends is. And what it is, we're the world's largest paranormal event company. We do about 80 live events a year, some of them with celebrities, some of them with not. We go to the haunted locations that normally you can't get into. We try to lease that location or that building for the evening. We bring the celebrities with us, the guys from your favorite shows, and we'll ghost hunt that place. So you get to come with us. We were already this year, we've been to Savannah, Georgia, at the Moon River Brewery, which is supposed to be, one of the #1 most haunted places in the U.S. right there, and the most haunted city in America. We went to the Missouri State Penitentiary last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, I think. You were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. We had a great time there.
Those 2 screens.
Was it?
The 2 screens in the main building?
Yeah, yeah. Broad daylight, we're walking around, just doing a walk around tour. We're hearing cell doors slam, people screaming from upstairs. You caught stuff.
Oh.
You recorded it and sent it to us.
He was with me when we were doing just a walkthrough.
Yeah.
And we got footsteps running across up on
And
the
somebody
third
screaming.
floor.
You sent me the video.
We had somebody screaming, talking to us.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. And it was just a walkthrough. We were
Right.
it was broad daylight.
That's a lot of the time when we capture activity is when we're not even expecting it. One of the best things that happened to me personally, we're at a location close by to here. We were done for the night. I had cameras all in my hand, cables hanging all down. We're done for the evening. And I feel my shirt being pulled like a little kid's pulling my shirt. My wife freaks out. She said that she saw a smoke, like a gray mist behind me. I put my hand through it. My shirt snapped back, and she said that this gray mist went down and out through the door, and then we started hearing a kid talking in the other room. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And she started freaking out and like crying and everything, because she's just like, wait, this is like insaneness, But you never know what's going to happen. And it's like broad daylight. People, they always show on the shows, it's more for a effect and, why do we always ghost hunt at night? Well, one thing is, when you ghost hunt at night, you don't have phones ringing as much, dogs aren't barking outside as much, there's not as much traffic there. The world's quieting down a little bit. But things happen broad daylight, so it doesn't matter when. There's no rhyme or reason to it, and this is like a giant experiment. So until we figure out what causes those hauntings and what creates that interaction, I guess is the best way to say it, we'll never know.
it makes good TV when you do it at night because it is a little scarier. And then how many horror movies have you watched? You know, it was a dark and do you like that? A dark and stormy night. You know. So I mean, you know, most movies start off that way, but there's a bunch of theories on that as well. So whatever. But anyways, we're here at the #2 most haunted location in the U.S., the Thomas House Hotel. How many have been here before? Yes. Oh, almost everybody except you two. So you're staying here tonight, so that's good. So, oh yeah, you wait. It's going to be exciting. So we're here, and what we're doing is we're kicking off our summer tour. So this weekend we have the Tennessee Wraith Chasers with us right here, and they're going to. We got Brannon, Chris, and Mike, and they're going to be ghost hunting with us this evening, tonight and tomorrow night. Next weekend, we're heading to Scottsville, Kentucky, to the Old War Memorial Hospital, which was featured on Chris's show, Ghost Asylum. And what we're doing is we're bringing Grant Wilson from Ghost Hunters. Everybody knows Grant Wilson. He's like the man that started it all, you know. So him and Jason, like when you talk about Ghost Hunter shows, those are the two guys you talk about, you know. So Grant, and this is the first event we have ever done with Grant. And Grant's going to be there. We're totally sold out. I think you got the last ticket, actually. It came in like last night, like 5 a.m. or something. You were playing Battlefield. Is that what it was? Yeah. He's like, no, man, I'm going to go hang out with Chad and Grant. And so we're going to have that. And then pretty much every weekend, June and July, we don't have any major events. August 11th, we're going to be at the Virginia. And we're going to the Haunted Abandoned Amusement Park in West Virginia. Rarely does anybody get in there. We got Steve Goncalves and Dave Tango from Ghost Hunters and the Wraith Chasers with us. How cool is that? It's 80 acres of insaneness. And I could go on and on and on. Felix and I went there days early to check the place out. And it was crazy. We had experiences the night before. We camped out there. We were the only ones on the property. Let me tell you this quick story because this is really crazy. So Felix and I are there a night before the whole event happens. We're parked up on the hill. We brought our campers and we're up on the hill. We're overlooking the whole amusement park. Well, there's a light activated, it's like a street light, I guess is the best way to say it, but it's motion activated and it's near the ticket booth. So Felix and I are up there. It's almost dark. It gets dark finally. And then all of a sudden, we see the light turn on down by the ticket booth like somebody's walking around. So we immediately, Felix and I, we just thought, well, that's the guy, the maintenance guy that works there. So we're looking. Well, Felix has binoculars, and he's looking down. He goes, well, there's some dude walking around down there. So I had my night vision camera, because it was dark already, and I started zooming in, but I couldn't see that far because it was really, really far away. Night vision usually only goes about 30 feet. So with the infrared, I really couldn't see. So I'm trying to look with this binoculars. I said, yeah, there is a guy down there. I said, well, I guess it's just Bobby, that maintenance guy. The light kept going on, light kept going off, and we can see somebody. So I said, well, let's go on down there. By then, it was like 9 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we're walking down. Right by the woods are 2 white wolves. And this is a fenced-in area. These white wolves, and we're like looking at them, and I'm like, dude, you see these? And I like got freaked out. I said, let's go back, because I had this big can of like riot control mace that I wanted to bring with me, you know?
We saw the eyes following us.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, it was crazy.
But they were white wolves, and then they just vanished into the woods,
They
and like,
disappeared.
we never saw them again. So we're walking to the ticket booth where the light's going on and off, nobody's there. So I'm like, hey, we're the only ones here. I said, hey, look, we get the whole amusement park to ourselves. Let's just walk around and ghost hunt the place. We're walking around, we're doing EVPs, taking pictures, you know, nothing really was happening. All of a sudden, fog rolls in. Like, it was like off a movie, like the movie The Fog. It's just this heavy fog rolls in. We couldn't see from here to you guys. So Felix and I are walking around in the dark with these flashlights, you know, like, and then all of a sudden we hear, and Felix has got his recorder on the whole time, and we have the recording of it. We hear an Indian, like a Native American, and I'm like, that's Bobby screwing around, like trying to mess with us. And I mean, it's from here to maybe the front door is how far we heard that. Did the lights just go up?
Yeah.
That one's cool.
Okay. Already hauntings going on here. Yeah, that was. I don't know what's going on because the light switch is there and nobody's near it. So that was weird. And now they're dimming. All right. Welcome to the Thomas house, everybody. So yeah, we experienced things and nobody was there. Like we experienced things at that location. So August 11th, we're going to have Steve Goncalves, Dave Tango, Chris, Mike, I believe Brannon's coming, and we're going to be at the Haunted Abandoned Amusement Park in Lake Shawnee, West Virginia. Hopefully it's going to be 2 nights. GhostHuntWeekends.com, that's where you want to go. Get your ticket. We're almost sold out on that, so if you want to go, you get to camp out there. And not only do you get to camp out, there's over 3,000 bodies on that land because it's an ancient Indian village. The University of Virginia came out and did ground penetrating radar. They said there's too many bodies to count. They started excavating. They pulled up 9 bodies, 18 inches below the ground. So everywhere you pretty much have a tent, you're probably sleeping on top of ancient, Native American.
And who was the archaeologist?
Oh, you're going to love this. The archaeologist, we got all the photos, we got all the documents and everything. The archaeologist that excavated everything, Dr. Jones. Like, that's not your name, dude. I was like,
I mean, seriously, not kidding. I mean, we have a newspaper clipping.
Yeah.
Dr. Jones.
You call
let
him
me guess,
Dr. Jones.
Indiana? So, yeah, and what they did is they exhumed one body. It was a child's body. And when they exhumed that one, that's when the activity really increased. So every time we go there, a lot of our crew got agitated. Like, we were just feeling, like, everybody was like, I was talking to Kevin, and I was like, what's wrong? Yeah, just leave me the fuck alone, so, oops, sorry, PG-13 on the thing, but that's all right. But he was like, he got all mad, and we're like, what's wrong with you, It's like all the crew was getting agitated for no reason, which is really weird. And then I kept trying to find a scientific reason, because we found trenches that were dug to kind of let the water out of where the lake was, and it was like a shallow area at that time. They had cows there, and then they moved it out, and it was just overgrown with weeds. And I saw actually oil coming out of the ground. And I'm like, look at this, man, there's actually oil seeping out of the ground here. So I'm like, well, maybe there's radon here, and that's what's causing everybody to feel weird. So I'm trying to find a scientific reason why everybody's feeling weird. But we couldn't really find anything. EVPs would go off. I mean, crazy. So August 11th, we're going to be there. Let me tell you, the next place we're going right after that, we're going to go to the USS Battleship North Carolina in Wilmington, North Carolina, which is going to be crazy. Steve's going to go with us there as well. And then we're going to have Chris and Mike, and of course our whole crew is going to be there. We're going to be at Scarefest in September in Lexington, Kentucky. We're going to be, right after that, that's when we're going to the Battleship North Carolina is the weekend after that. We're going to be next weekend in Scottsville, Kentucky with Grant Wilson. That's our 3rd year there. It's going to be really exciting. And give me one of those yellow sheets. I'm sorry. There's so much stuff going on, I forgot what's going on. Thank you. Felix, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah! So we're live right now. So if you guys are watching, if you go to our Facebook page, Ghost Hunt Weekends, share it. So everybody knows that we're online. We're streaming all this live. So right now, it's May 25th. We're here at Thomas House, June 2nd, Old War Memorial Hospital. June 16th and 17th, we're going to be at the Inner Light Festival in Lexington, Kentucky. We're going to bring the guys with us there. That's a convention. We're going to be doing photos and autographs, and then we're going to be doing a little ghost hunt in Lexington. More than likely, it's going to be at the Carnegie. Is it Carnegie or Carnegie? I've heard like two different things. Yeah, we'll just say Carnegie. Library that's in Lexington, and pretty haunted, so that's exciting. But I'll go over all these in just a minute. But I know you guys have been waiting for the guys, so we're going to introduce Brannon, Chris, and Mike from the Tennessee Wraith Chasers. Come on out, guys. Yes.
All right, we got to switch
Don't trip.
Sit in the white seat.
Oh, you're at the end.
It's all good.
No, go over one more. Oh yeah, you're in my seat, sorry.
You've changed.
Oh, just stay there.
We talked about this for
We'll
5
just switch
minutes.
signs, yeah, that was like.
Testing, 1, 2.
This way nobody gets confused.
There we go.
Yeah, by the way, we talked about this for 5 minutes before we walked out. I was like, you go first, and then I go second, and then he comes out third, and then we still mess it up. But that's the TWC way, though. That's the way we do things. How you guys doing?
Good.
Thanks for coming out. We're really appreciative. We're really psyched about this weekend. We always get a lot of really good activity here. First little thing about us, if you haven't, who here has not investigated with us?
Oh.
We got
Two. Oh, come on.
4, 5, 6. Oh, I know this guy from the gym. Look at those guns.
Yeah.
No, but one thing that we like to tell people is we take what we do very seriously, but we don't take ourselves that way. So keep that in mind when you're investigating with us tonight. Anybody who has investigated with us before, they already know that. So, Mike, do you have anything to add?
I want to throw out that it's Six's birthday today, so.
Ooh.
Yes! Happy birthday, Six!
We love birthday celebrations at TWC events. Oh, she's taking a photo op.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's perfect.
There we go.
Does everybody want to sing happy birthday to Six?
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Happy to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Six, happy birthday to you.
Your Facebook will now blow up.
We're going to be doing live paddlings right here, so we're going to.
Oh, dear.
We're going to put a chair
Yes,
out. Everybody
I
can come
know.
up.
Oh my gosh.
And she's 21 today.
Yes, of course. Agreed.
Anybody's first time here at the Thomas house?
Oh.
Oh, Savannah girls, first time here at the Thomas house. And
They're in 19, which is even better. So.
Ooh, you guys got room 19?
Yeah.
Right on.
That's a real nice one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a real nice one.
It's not haunted at all.
Yeah, they say we were hanging out. Actually, no, I take that back because I mean we were actually hanging out in there earlier. We didn't know you were going to be in there, but it is.
It's a good room. You guys
It's a good
are
room.
fun.
They basically broke it in for you guys now.
We got them stirred up for you.
Yeah, never mind the shadow crawlers on the ceiling you see
All right, guys, we're here for any questions you got. Anybody got any questions? If you don't, it's going to be really awkward. So somebody.
I know Jim's got a question. What we got there, brother? You were talking to me earlier.
What's going on with your TV show, Haunted Towns? Anything new going on with that?
Well, we're just waiting on the network with you, brother. I mean, it could be tomorrow, it could be whenever. So.
The usual BS, right?
Yeah, it's a hurry up and wait situation. We're on deck. We're ready to go. Last season it was a phone call, and the next week we're
Literally,
literally
that's the way it
filming.
works.
So we're waiting just like you, brother.
But in the meantime, it opens us up for a lot of these events, and we can hang out with you guys. So we're all good with it.
Now you are. We got to film a little stuff together, which is really exciting. Are you able to talk about that, or?
Not probably just yet.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Hey, things are coming. Things are coming.
Some new stuff's coming.
Yeah, there you go. We can probably say
That's
that.
all that
All
matters.
right.
Can't tell you what it is.
New stuff's. Should I even?
New stuff's on the way.
It's on the horizon.
There's going to be
Follow
some.
us on social media. There's stuff on the way. We're waiting on the network when it comes to haunted towns, anything TWC that related. But follow us on social media.
Stay tuned.
And,
Patience is the key.
So we got next weekend. We're here at the Thomas House right now, and I know we've got some crazy stuff that you've experienced here. Everybody always has experiences here. Next weekend, we got a sold-out event at the Old War Memorial Hospital
There
in
you go.
Scottsville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Grant Wilson's going to be with us, the man that got you into it.
Man with a plan.
Yeah. You guys
Like a
actually.
frig.
You guys, I know, right? Grant friggin' Wilson. That's what my name is. Grant friggin' Wilson, ladies and gentlemen. So you guys filmed an episode there.
Yeah, we did.
So yeah, Brandon, tell us a little bit about that.
Well,
You gotta turn it on.
Uh-oh.
Turn it on. Hello.
It's the button that says on.
Gotta turn it to operator here, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the few places that we had something going on with the transportation device. It was some kind of, we called it the bug zapper trap.
Yeah,
or
I think we
something.
did call it the bug.
Yeah, and we had like a solar panel hooked up to it, and it went into a capacitor, and the whole idea was if these things are based in some type of light or infrared energy, the idea is that whatever light or infrared energy they put off, it kind of gets into the solar panel and collects into the capacitor and stores that energy. I remember, because I was looking at the voltmeter, and it was hooked up in circuit to the capacitor, and I was supposed to say something if there was any micro farads or any capacitance.
Yeah, those micro.
You're losing us there.
Basically, any stored electrical charge. But I look away for just a second. I was watching this thing like a hawk all night. I look back and the thing's off. Like, it just turned off. And of course, when I look away, something happens. And we hooked it back up, we cut it on, and it had a charge. Like something charged that capacitor. And, you know, we took it back to Doogie's garage, and it didn't really show anything by that time, but...
it never does in Doogie's garage.
Yeah. But it was really interesting. I mean, it was one of the few places where we had something interact with our transportation device, so... Cool.
Yeah, anytime anybody ever asked me, have we ever successfully caught a ghost, and that really wasn't our mission to catch a ghost per se. We were just trying to see if we could contain the energy long enough to transport it somewhere else, which I don't think we ever accomplished. But that was one of the ones where we seem to have contained it for just a short amount of time. And it seems like by the time we get to Doogie's, we always nothing. It's just like
Drive home, it was over.
So at the time when you guys filmed, it was not a haunted attraction.
No. Well, I mean, it was
just
during,
abandoned,
yeah,
or-
I mean, it was during Halloween season. I mean, there's
Okay.
still dummies and stuff, you know.
When you filmed it
around.
was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was empty at the time, because on the video, on your show, it looks like the place is just falling in.
We didn't go into a lot of the places where they had a lot of the, the props and stuff.
Yeah.
But they did get me with this one frog on me. It was like this huge frog, and Doogie was like, "Hey, come over here, I got to show you something." And I had the thermal, and I walked in around the corner, and there's this huge frog thing like looking at me. And it's motion activated, and it like said something or did something and scared the hell out of me. Yes, ma'am.
What's the scariest thing that's ever happened to Goncalves?
We've never actually had that question before.
What is it?
Yeah, the scariest thing that's ever happened to us. That's a lie, buddy. But it's a good question. Brandon, you want to take that one?
There's been a few times that I've been startled. That time Porter threw the baseball, that wasn't paranormal, but I was at Old South Pittsburgh kind of doing my own thing, doing a solo investigation, and Porter thought it'd be a good idea to try to put a little scare
Well, I
in me.
told him, I said, go up there and give Brannon a little startle, I didn't know he was going to hum a baseball at a wall. Oh,
Yeah.
God. Everything just went black.
Nice job.
Lights closed.
It's like he just took a rifle or something.
Press conference is closed.
Yeah. Press conference is closed. But no, I told Porter, I was like, hey, go upstairs, try to scare Brannon a little bit. And I didn't know he was going to hum a baseball at the wall as hard as he could. And Brannon did like this judo karate stance. Like, after that happened, he was just like, "Wah!" And you could tell he was startled, but he was ready though. He was ready to rock.
And it was funny because like I took the baseball and I threw it back, but I immediately had to take a picture. Can't miss an opportunity to catch a ghost on camera, even when you're scared. So, click.
Yeah, that was awesome.
For me would be, I guess that question combined to most, scariest moment was exactly the time we were at the Exchange Hotel in Gordonsville, Virginia. And I was walking upstairs, Brannon was setting up his experiment for that evening, and we were about to do the Q&A, maybe like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And, it was 4 o'clock and Brannon is still setting up his stuff. So I go upstairs to go get him, and when you're walking up the stairs, you can see I guess that would be the third floor from coming in that place if you've ever been there. And you can see through the rails the different rooms. And when I look to the left, I see walking around, hands out, pacing the room. Very, very clear. I didn't see face, but you know, it's one of those things when you're walking, it's not peripheral, just real quick.
Peripheral?
Yeah.
Peripheral? Yeah.
The
Peripheral?
side of my eye.
Peripheral
I mean,
chases.
it was pacing. It was pacing, and I'm like, there's Brannon walking around. And if you investigate with Brannon, you know, where he has his cameras, so it's like I walked right into the room. I was like, hey man.
Yeah,
I walked in, and there's nothing there, and then I hear from the other room, yeah. And I was like, so I freeze framed, and I was like, I mean, there's scary places we've been to, but that was like the most that it hit me, where I actually stopped, and I was like, oh, shoot.
You were excited about that too.
Yeah,
I remember
and
he
it was
came
like-
down, he was like, dude, I just saw a ghost.
And I'm like, Brannon, and he's in the other room, yeah, and I'm like, you know, one of those like, no, something happened just over here. And it's like, I'm freaking out, not freaking out, scared, like run, but it was like a great moment, and he's pissed off because
Yeah.
I got my cameras in the wrong
Yeah,
room.
I'm like facing this way, and by the way, actually, I have my camera static usually. So if you think you see me moving around holding the cameras, it's not me.
And
Well,
then that Q&A, like 10 minutes later, people are like, what's your most epic moment? And I'm like, just now. I'm like, what just happened? And it's like, I mean, it was crazy. So that scared me, and it was in the middle of the day. I mean, it was one of those where I actually stopped, and I'm like, it wasn't like out of the corner of your eye. I see pacing with hands out, and if you're here all night tonight, you'll see how Brannon investigates with his cameras, and it was him. It was him. I didn't see face. I saw a full body. Just
It was his doppelganger.
Yeah.
it was just walking around, and it's like, so I went straight into that room. So that was my scariest moment. I don't have any evidence to prove it, but
Well, see, in my experience with doing this, the best thing you can take away from these events or any type of ghost hunt is your own personal experience. You know, I mean, we use the cameras, we use the digital recorders and the devices, but if you can walk away with an experience that only you personally had, I think that's the most gratifying. For me, it is anyway. You know, you don't have to prove it to anybody but yourself.
Yeah, and another thing too, a kind of interesting point is, you know, I had my cameras like all faced in that room, and the thing was walking behind me. So, you know, I've always had a theory that these things sometimes don't want to be seen. Like, they literally try to avoid your cameras. So sometimes it may be best to...
Well, it's like at St. Vincent's. That's a perfect example. We were at St. Vincent's Mental Home, Season 1, Ghost Asylum, Oklahoma City. Brandon's walking around with his camera. And when you do give him a camera and it's not static and he's walking around, he's filming people's asses. He's filming the ceiling. He's
That's why it's
floor.
static.
You know, he's filming everything. He's not paying attention, and he tricked the ghost, I think, because we caught some of the best evidence from Brannon. He wasn't even trying. He just passed the hallway and panned, and it looked like a guy walking through the wall and stopped to look at Brannon, and then kept walking right through another wall. And it looked like he was dragging something behind him. And it looked like this guy was made out of water. It was one of the craziest visual things we've ever captured, and he caught it on accident. So Brannon is a master of faking the ghosts out.
Yeah, that's right.
well, last week, when your cameras finally died, the batteries died, and we were forced to go into just recorder mode, we caught crazy EVPs at St. Albans last week.
Yeah, it was actually not bad. We were in the bowling alley, and we were doing a real-time EVP session, which is where we'll have a recorder recording audio, and we'll just go around the room and we ask questions and see if we get an answer. Well, all of a sudden, I was holding the recorder in my hand, and I felt this breeze go across my palm. I said, hey, everyone, I felt this breeze, and I tagged it on recorder, which means you basically say, I felt something, or if you make a sound, you just say, it was just me. But anyway, we went back over the audio, and like, I think a little after I felt that breeze, someone asked a question, how many of you are in this room, or us in this room, and said 2, like that, like 2. And of course there was 5 of us, so I'm like, do you mean 2 spirits? And it answered a meter after I asked that. So there were 2 spirits in the room with us. So
I mean, that goes along with
that's pretty cool.
what you're just saying. Maybe they don't want to be filmed.
Yeah.
Who knows? But it's like it last week became on point once his cameras died. So
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Never know.
Once his cameras die, he stops paying attention to them and he starts paying attention to you guys and everything.
Yeah.
So sabotage Brandon's equipment is the moral of the story. Anybody else got any questions? Oh no.
No, I'm doing the
This
YouTube
guy.
question, so.
Okay, just making
Okay,
sure.
I'm
What
good.
we got online, Felix?
Bobby Sommerfeld wants to know, have you ever used the ghost traps at Thomas House?
Not that I can remember. No.
No, we haven't.
I know,
haven't done
Brandon,
that
you
yet.
brought some interesting things tonight to use, didn't you? that
Yeah,
you've never used before?
well, I brought it's like if anyone's ever heard of a static wand, it's kind of like a toy that you can use anyone ever heard of a Van de Graaff generator? It puts off static electricity.
No, that's above our.
But it basically, it's a little wand that puts off static electricity, and you can put like little pieces of paper or mylar or some type of plastic, and the static electricity makes the plastic float in midair. And my plan is to use it tonight and see if we can get anything to interact with the plastic to make it move a certain way or make,
Now you guys know why we hired this guy, right?
I always say half of what Brandon says goes over my head. The other half goes way over.
It's not that high.
We're like, yeah, that sounds good, bro.
You do. You take the wand, you make the paper float, we'll watch.
Well, and too, I brought some of the people. Have you guys seen the Kuhn episode where we had the laser set up in a way to where it formed like a solid wall of laser, and we had the fog going up through it, and it was like a wall of laser, literally. Well, tonight we have the same type of lasers, and I have some fog ones. It's a little handheld, like they produce fog, but you hold
It's like a fog gun.
Yeah. And you guys will be able to see how that looks in person, and hopefully we'll get some cool activity with that too.
So lucky you guys are.
Be
Anybody
awesome.
else? Felix, we got anybody else online with any questions?
Nope.
All
You
right.
had a question.
Now we can use that during the day also, Brandon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So after next weekend, so we're gonna have Old War Memorial. That's like a tongue twister.
It is.
Old War. We're gonna be going to June 16 and 17. We're gonna go to Lexington, Kentucky, to the Interlight Festival. We're just doing meet and greets there with you guys, and then we're gonna do a mini ghost hunt at the where are we going? I think it's the Carnegie Library, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the first time in Lexington for you guys doing a ghost hunt, right?
Yeah.
For myself, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
For
about
Lexington, yeah.
Then June 22nd and 23rd, we're going to be right back here at the Thomas House Hotel. It's going to be a small event, it's probably like 20, 30 people. July, we're going to have Friday the 13th and 14th. We're going to be right back here at the Thomas House Hotel again. I believe you guys will probably be making a surprise appearance. That's
Surprise!
Surprise! So get your ticket for that. And then July 20th and 21st, back here at the Thomas House. Also on the 20th and 21st, we're going to be at the old Paulding County Jail in Ohio.
Always a good time.
yeah.
August 11th, we're going to be at the Haunted Abandoned Amusement Park in Lake Shawnee, West Virginia, with Steve Goncalves, Tango, and you guys. So, and you haven't been there, right?
No.
You were just in West. You were really, really close last weekend. You were at the
St. Albans.
where were you?
St. Albans.
St. Albans, which is just right down the road. But this is the first time. We have got a great deal. It took us forever to ink this deal out with the owner of the Haunted Abandoned Amusement Park. He did do an episode of what's the show with Amy and
Kindred Spirits.
No, not that one. The other
No.
Amy. Dead Files. Yeah, they did an episode there with Steve DeShavi and Amy Allen. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. So they actually did an episode there, which has not been aired yet. So I'm assuming as soon as that's aired, it's going to go crazy. Right now it's only Saturday night, but we're going to end up adding Friday night. We're actually probably sold out for Friday. Saturday. We're going to add that Friday night in. So if you guys are excited about going to a haunted abandoned amusement park and being the only ones there, I talked a little bit about it earlier. August 11th is going to be the date you want to go.
Bring your tent.
Yeah, you get to camp out right on top of bodies. So, I mean, how crazy is that?
Cool stuff.
September 8th, we're going to be at the old Paulding County Jail in Paulding, Ohio. Steve Goncalves from Ghost Hunters. And the guys right here are going to be there. This will be our 3rd year going back. Can you believe 3 years?
Yeah, that's cool.
Chris, you got a little personal experiences you want to share with us?
Oh, you talking about Ida?
Yeah.
Oh man, my mic died, but I think you guys can probably hear me. I usually get the library. Oh, okay, I can borrow this guy.
Let's do that.
Test it. But no, it was, well, I can tell you a funny story. There are a lot of really cool things that go on in Paulding, but a funny story, because we like to have fun. One of Chad's guys, we call him Ida now for a very specific reason. His name's not Ida, but there was a librarian over there across from the Paulding jail, the library, and her name was Ida. And we're all sitting there asking questions, and salt of the earth, great guy, very country. It's just very silent, and he's like, we're not getting any responses, and he's like,
Well, we always say there's no stupid question.
right. There's never a stupid question, but this one, he was like, Ida, are you not communicating with us because we forgot our library card? And from then on out, it was like everybody just cracked up and died laughing. And I was like, is he serious? And he was serious as a heart attack too. That was like a serious question. So ever since then, I've called him Ida. But we like to have a good time.
But we do like to say there is no stupid questions.
Yeah.
You might
Sometimes
come
we
up with a
have.
nickname after today, so.
So that's going to be September 8th at the old Paulding County Jail. Steve Goncalves, this is probably the first time you've actually done an event, or actually any ghost hunting with Steve since you were on
the Academy show.
On the Academy, right?
Yeah, and I had to mind my P's and Q's then, so.
So it's
Now I can do whatever I want.
gloves are off.
But this gentleman over here has a question. Oh.
Melvin McLaren from the gym.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Your pilot episode of the Delasons.
Yeah, Ghostland, Tennessee.
Did you ever follow up with them and see how they're doing nowadays?
I haven't talked to them in years, but we did later on find out that it seemed like the activity stopped. They didn't have anything really happen after that. Unfortunately, I think those guys kind of split up, went their separate ways. But actually, I just saw one of the kids who was like knee-high to a grasshopper when we shot the show, and he's like this now. I saw him at Buffalo Wild Wings a couple weeks ago, and he said everything's good, everything's going good. So I mean, that was a really fun case for us because it was a very active house, and anytime we can help somebody, that's always a good priority to have. And I feel like we did. And the crazy thing about that case, that was the first time we'd ever used any type of experiment like that, and it seemed to have worked. I mean, between Chasey and Porter, carrying the box downstairs, they said it moved. We had that crazy meter interaction once we got it outside. Couldn't explain it, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, we did follow up with them. It seemed like whatever we did, I don't know how, but it seemed like we fixed it somehow.
Well, I mean, and I tell people, it's like, we've done Ghost of Solomon, we've done all kinds of different traps, experiments, worked with running water, electricity, light, lasers, fog, you name it, we try to use it to contain
rocks,
ghostly energy. And it seems like we come back to Doogie's garage, and it's like, where'd it go? This didn't really seem to work. But the 6-sided mirror cube, the Devil's Toy Box, is like the only thing that may have actually worked. So, I mean, I guess you could say if we had a conclusion to say about all these, mirrors work the best.
Yeah, there's a lot of history in mirrors and spiritual attachment, and back in the day they used to use them for seances and things of that nature. It's always been like a myth or a legend that spirits are captured in mirrors. I mean, if you look right here, we have two facing each other.
And can we chime on that with what Chip had said actually about this room?
Yeah, the portals.
Oh yeah.
Between the two mirrors.
Yeah, he said he was freaking out because there was so many. There's 4 mirrors pointing back and forth at each other. And he says that's just a bad idea. But as soon as Chip came into this room, he walked in and he pointed right back here at this mirror, and he says, "Oh, Chad, you've got a portal in here." That sounded just like Chip. Didn't it?
That's
You thought he was here, didn't you? I was like, Chip, I know you're watching, so love you. Hello. Don't get mad. But anyways, yeah, so he said there's a portal. He says spirits are just kind of coming and going at will right here where this piano is. And we've had some insane activity actually at that piano. We've had the piano plays, we've heard it, keys being pushed when we asked it on command, and we've recorded it. We've heard kids talking over here. We've seen smoke just appear, like maybe it was ectoplasm or mist or something. And a lot of activity over in this corner, and we don't know what causes it. It could be the mirrors. It could be the cult activity that was here years ago. It could be there's an open mineral spring supposedly right under the floorboards right there. So, I mean, it could be anything. I do want to mention we're going to Scarefest right after the Old Paulding County Jail. We're going to be in Lexington, Kentucky. The largest paranormal event convention that's in the U.S. is in Lexington, Kentucky, called the Scarefest. We're big sponsors with them. We're going to have the guys there, including Doogie, at our booth. You just come by, give some photos and autographs. We're going to be giving all kinds of little freebies away. And then I believe we're doing a ghost hunt. It's not announced yet, but I think we're going to be doing some kind of a ghost hunt that weekend. So if you're going to be in the Lexington area, come out. Not only are the guys going to be there, Steve and Tango are going to be there, Chip Coffey's going to be there, horror movie people are going to be there. I think a lot of Walking Dead and Elvira, remember her?
Oh, yeah.
She's going to be there. I hope she'll be in costume.
She's like 80 now.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna be like
She
Elvira.
She still looks
yeah,
good
she
though.
still looks great though. Like you wouldn't even think she's any more than like 30 or something. She looks good.
I thought it was cool Danny Trejo was there.
Yeah. Machete. What are we doing after that? We're gonna go September 8th. We're gonna be at the USS Battleship North Carolina in Wilmington. Have you guys been there before?
I've never been.
We're going to have Steve Goncalves from Ghost Hunters, and then you two, 100%. Maybe we're going to see. We're checking his schedule. He has a really busy schedule. This guy, he a lot of Candy Crush, you know. So
I think a lot.
So we got to see if we can bring him away a little bit. Felix, we got some questions online.
Yeah, Sharon wants to know, what is your most haunting moment you have had investigating the Thomas house?
I
mean, I can
maybe
get
it was
mine.
When Chris wanted to go up into the ceiling.
Oh, God.
What was it? December, January,
Sure.
something. We were up in the green hallway, what we call the green hallway for anybody who hasn't been here. And I mean, you know, well, always can you knock on something? You might hear a boom, 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 boom. I mean, we were the only ones here. It was a small group that night. We were all together, maybe 6, 7 of us, and it was bam on that door up there on the glass. I mean, and I've never, as many times as we investigated together, I've never seen Chris be like, whoa! And he ran over there to see what it was, and because it was like, that's somebody on the other side of that glass door. You can see where it shuts when you go upstairs. But it was bam. That, and then also the same thing at the church, which we were with Felix that night, and it was like somebody threw a chair in the room. It was not even, did you hear that, bro? It was like, the room shook, boom. We freaked out, Stacy freaked out. We were all in, it was another small group evening, and we were like, holy crap. I mean, it was like the whole room shook, and then when he finally showed up, it was like, anything going on in here, guys? Anything going on, bro? It's like, you gotta see this room. I mean, so there was, for myself, those were the two magic moments where, and they were both like just extreme bangs, like church, where somebody like threw something across the room. It was so loud where it like shook and vibrated. It wasn't that at all.
And mine is in the chapel too, the church. I mean, that place is really active in my opinion. I mean, just me, it's my opinion again, it seems more active to me than the hotel. But in that church, we were just getting started. We hadn't started investigating yet, and I see this, I thought it was someone's like headlamp or light. It looked like an orange firefly that just streaked down and up, down and up, and then it just disappeared. And I was like, was that someone's light? Who had an orange light on? And no one had a light. I mean, it's like, I was like, I just saw that.
Oh, we see it there in orangey, we see it in greenish, it's like it's been different colors, and then also in this room, again, it might have been January, February, it was cold outside, and remember we're like, it was 1 o'clock in the morning, we're like, it sounds like an ice cream truck.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And
yeah.
we hear this music, and we're the only ones in this room, the only ones in the place, and it's like, you hear this music, and we all heard it, and it's like, it sounds like
It's
an
just
ice cream
band
truck
music,
outside.
yeah.
It's
And we
like,
all looked, there was
what's going
nothing.
on?
Yeah. Yeah, this place is, I mean, it's its own.
And that door
weird
kept
world
shutting
here.
outside. We kept sending somebody outside. The door kept opening and shutting out there.
Out on the kitchen side, yeah.
While we're hearing the music, the ice cream truck in the middle of the ice storm.
We got some, we're running out of time. We got some shout outs. We got, looks like Adam from France. Hey, hello, Adam.
Oh,
we got some girls from Brazil saying hello.
Ooh.
Carla from, looks like Old Cannon Hospital. Have we ever been there before? No, we haven't.
We had.
Sam Cox, how you doing? He's all the way in
Savannah.
Savannah, yeah.
Savannah.
My wife says it's Savannah.
He's got some nice jeans.
Yeah, he does. Oh, and speaking of Savannah, we're going to announce that we just left Savannah, Georgia. We were at the Moon River Brewery, which is insane. Brandon, Chris, and Mike were there with us. We had dinner in the catacombs underneath the streets by candlelight. How cool is that? Not only do we get to have dinner there, we get to hang out with these guys, and then we get to explore all the floors that are off limits. And everybody tells us all the time, oh, I went on a ghost walk and we got to go through the Moon River Brewery. No, you got to go on one floor. We go to all the floors and we have it till 5 in the morning or however late we want to stay, which is great. And we're going back November, I forgot the date. It's on our website, November 7th. It's on our site.
That's the 12th.
Yeah. The 12th. Yeah. Just look on our website because I forgot what it was. I'm sorry. And where are we going after that? We got Battleship, North Carolina, Thomas House, and then October Halloween weekend. We're going to be back here. 26th, 27th. We're going to be back here with the guys. You get to ghost hunt here at the Thomas House in the dark with the guys here, and then also on the 31st, which I think it's Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. So we're going to do 3 nights here at the Thomas House, so that's going to be our summer tour. We're going to take one more question before we're going to wrap this up, and then we're going to actually ghost hunt this place. So, any more questions? No one. Ladies, you're giggling over here. What do you?
Jim, you got a question.
She's like, no. Let's see what we got online. Anything, Felix?
Nope.
Okay. This sounds great. What we're going to do now, hey, you guys that are watching online, we're going to stream this live. So what I got to do, whoops, hello? Oh, there we go. There's going to be a break for just a moment till we get to our location. So what we're going to do is we're going to do about a 1-hour ghost hunt. We're going to hit the 37 hallway where the little girl's supposed to be seen. And then we're going to do the green hallway, which that is... people feel the most uncomfortable up there. That's where we've had a ball roll across the floor, we've had whistling, we've had doors slam, we've heard doorknobs twisting and rattling while we're there. And what's crazy is that's where Chris is sleeping tonight, so he's got a room up there. And that's right by your room, so 19, so that's the oldest part of the hotel. So you get a little taste of that tonight. So we're going to split into a couple groups. The live stream's going to be live. Stay with us. There's going to be a small pause, and we're going to hook the cameras up upstairs, and you're going to be able to watch a little bit of the ghost hunt. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. And right now, we're going to take a little break and stay online, and you're going to be able to watch the ghost hunting live. Okay? Thanks.
All right.
Woo. Yeah. So here's what we're going to do right now. If you guys got to take a bathroom break, a little quick vape break, whatever you got to do. Felix is already running. Look at him. He's like knocking people out of the way. Yeah. And then those of you that purchased the lunch package, we're going to have lunch after the ghost hunt. So this way we'll be able to do the ghost hunting, and then you guys can feast a little bit here on David's great food. Thank you, David. Yes. David Cole, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. 80s adult action film star. Meet back here in about 5 minutes, everyone. Thanks guys for watching. We're here live at the Thomas House right now. This is a great location. We've got 2 nights here this evening. We're going to be ghost hunting. Everything's going to be starting at about 7 o'clock Central Time tonight here. But right now we're breaking. We're doing a little bathroom break, and we're doing a little getting us some equipment. We're going to split into a couple groups, and we're going to go upstairs to 2 locations. We're going to go to room 37, where the most activity has been heard. And we're also going to go into the green hallway upstairs with Brannon and Chris, and they're going to do some experiments up there. Brannon always brings great equipment. So tune in. Don't leave the feed. It's going to go dead for just a moment, but it's when we're switching cameras to the other location. So this is raw and live. It's not edited. So everything you see is live and in real time. So thanks, guys, for tuning in across the world, and thanks for being fans. And this is Felix.
I'm just always with the gym guy.
You should have said, yeah, what happened to you?
Just say, what's this?
How you doing?
Yeah. How are you?
She's the one that got it. That's her friend.
Oh, it wasn't you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot to tell them that story. Forgot to tell you the most important thing that happened.
Well, you didn't tell me.
Tell her real quick.
When I was sitting in chair, right, in the chair, and then I right back out into the green room, the girls were sitting up in the
Hey,
first
Ma. Hey.
and I looked out and saw,
Good job.
oh, somebody threw a
Hey.
roll ball there out in the hallway.
It's not right. I mean, what are you gonna do?
At the gray room there. I didn't, we didn't see the
Oh,
ball move.
you guys did tell me that last time you were here. Yeah. And we were hoping we had a camera, but we didn't have a camera at that time. Yeah.
This just happened like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
okay.
happened
That was
the same day
back
as
on
Michelle
the
was scratched. Well, grab.
From that gray room.
I'll get it for you. Number 16.
Oh,
I got it. This is my wife. This is the wife that doesn't believe any of this crap.
Yes, sir. Yes. Orange.
No, that was her best friend.
She's like, she's 17.
Oh, 17. I'm always careful.
I said going dark for just a minute. Let me put the sun pause.
I did not.
We'll put the sun